Okay, so I just opened the door to the backyard, and this is what Yep, the picnic table completely broke. Now, I knew this thing was dry rotting, but, yeah, just shocked. This right over here was the sweet potato experiment. It flipped upside down, but I've got it now over here, so it's going to be secure. But yeah, that was a lovely thing to see. All these plants right here were rolled over and flipped on its side. Yeah, gardening, you gotta love it. So today we're going to do a couple experiments and some updates about what's going on in the backyard. And as you can see, or I don't know if you can see it yet, but we've got bad weather coming. So this video is going to be short. I wanted to do these two experiments pretty quickly just to get it going. Now the spring's here, it's time to really start getting everything rocking and rolling. So, and before we move on, if you see right here behind me, yes, that picnic table completely collapsed sometime this morning, which I showed on that short from the other day. And hey, whatever, it happens. Now here's a question for you. Ever been walking through a supermarket looking for a vegetable of some kind and see something like this? It's a red onion. There's growth coming out of the top of it. Now that's pretty crazy to me, and it got me thinking, why not do something with this? So we are going to plant it and see what it does. Being completely honest, I have no clue if this is going to do anything or if this is just a big waste of time, but I like to do experiments, so why not give it a shot? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to see if this will do anything. I don't know if these roots will come back alive or not. I have no clue. But we're going to give it a shot. So let's do it. So here we go. This bucket has holes, so it'll drain. This is my normal planting mix that I make. All right, we're going to take the onion. Okay, root side down. This side up. I know it seems silly to say that, but hey, I have absolutely planted things upside down before. So roots down, pointy side to the sky. Now, okay, and there we go. Today is March 21st, and I'm hoping that in a week or so, those green tops that we just saw will actually be growing up out of the soil. So we'll see. I have no idea if this will work or not, but it's fun to experiment and see what we can do. Okay, now that the onion is planted and I've washed my hands, I want to do a second experiment. Last year I planted a bunch of jalapeno seeds in a bucket or in a container, and they grew. I mean, they grew really good, produced probably somewhere between 50 and 100 jalapenos over last year, which was great. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but that was perfect. Now, I'll be the first to admit that over the winter, I didn't exactly give all the plants in the garage a lot of TLC. In fact, I kind of forgot about them for a while, which is my bad. But the jalapeno plants, and I did lose some of those plants, I'll just keep it real. A lot of the pepper plants gone, which really bugs me because I had some really good pepper plants last year, but hey, it is what it is. So, but with this jalapeno plant, I want to see if there's a way to save it. Now there is some life on this plant, and what I'm going to do is, I think if I trim down all the dead parts of this plant, I think it'll come back. I don't know, but I want to give it a shot. So let's do it. Okay, so we've got life right through here. This stalk is a little green, and there's life right there. This one back here is green. We've got a green one here. I don't see much life on any of the other ones. Most of them are like this, where they're just, I mean, obviously that's completely dead. But I'm gonna trim it down, so let's do it. Okay, so there we go. I took off a lot of that dead old growth, and I'm gonna be completely honest, the majority of these in here are dead, but you never know if there's life under the ground that might spark back up. So you can give it a shot. Have nothing to lose, so why not do it, right? Okay, so the first update I want to do is the sweet potato slips. Now nothing is coming up yet, and this thing had just flipped upside down when the table broke on me. What I did notice is that nothing is growing yet, so this might take a while. Not really sure how these work, but give it a shot. Now, one big update that I am super excited about are the potatoes. Check this out. Look at that. We already have potato growth coming up. And if you remember, I planted a bunch of different types of potatoes in here, and every one of the varieties has life coming up out of the ground. Right there, right there, right there. So I think it's safe to say that the potatoes are going to be a success this year. Really excited about that, and we'll see where it goes from there. In here are those little baby monster potatoes, like right there. I haven't gotten another layer across the top of that yet, but down below you can see there's plenty of water in here. I did put holes in the bottom of this container, so we'll see what this does. I do still need to get another layer of soil across the top there, but that's going to be an experiment right there. Don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. Okay, so have you ever planted something and you can't remember what you planted? Yeah, I dumped a bunch of seeds in this section of the bed, of this raised bed, last fall, and I had no clue that I had put a seed or seeds for this plant. See if any of y'all know what this one is. So this plant right here, I have no clue. Now, right down below it, I have garlic growing. And then this thing came up over top of it. Now I'm sure everyone's saying, well man, we know what that is, because now look at that. Yep, kind of tells you what it is. That's a dill plant. I do not remember planting dill, but there it is. So I guess this would be a volunteer plant, but the thing is huge, and I'm probably 3 feet from it, and I could smell the dill so strong right here. So that's really cool. And I'm just gonna let it grow for a while. We'll see what it does. And if you look right behind it, this plant I transplanted from the corner over there. I was gonna throw it away, but look, there's life on it. We're gonna see what it does. It's a bell pepper plant, so I'm pretty happy to already have a bell pepper plant this mature, growing this early into spring. So should have a good yield of bell peppers this year, which I use a lot of. So it's a win-win. Okay, down here I planted strawberries last fall, and I thought the freezes would kill them and everything, but got flowers. Those are all brand new. The flowers weren't there last week at this time, so I think these strawberry plants are good. We're gonna see though. I really hope they take off. That'd be amazing. Now I'm gonna have a video coming up that's not the typical gardening video, but I love to get kids interactive in the garden. So one thing that I did with my daughter a couple years ago is we made a fairy garden. It was just something to do, throw back here, put some color in the backyard, and it's time to not redo the fairy garden, but definitely update the fairy garden. So this will be updated. I'm going to do an entire video on this fairy garden. As you can see, some of it's falling apart over here. It's just a really old wheelbarrow, but that video will be coming out because, like I said, I think it's important to get kids involved outside, not on a cell phone, not on their iPads or, you know, whatever. Get them outside, get dirt in the fingernails, you know, just have fun with it, be creative, add something different to your garden. Again, backyard living's not all about just throwing stuff in the ground. It's about planting those seeds for the next generation to love being in the backyard or in your front yard or just wherever, just not in front of a screen. So anyway, get off my soapbox. Let's continue. Okay, the last update is going to be on this pineapple sage. Now, 2 weeks ago, this thing looked completely like the top of it here. There was none of this growth on here. And in fact, I was about to yank it out and throw it away. But look at that. Nature saved it. It made it through 3 or 4 freezes this year. Now, we didn't have a hard freezes, but still, this plant has survived, so I'm just going to let it be. Pineapple sage brings in all kinds of pollinators, so I'm just going to let it go. Now, this entire bed here, I planted cilantro in, cilantro seeds. Did that yesterday, or a couple days ago. So here in a few days, 5 days, a week or so, should start having cilantro pop up through the ground, through the soil there. So we'll see. All right, everyone, so that was the update. That's all the updates I've got going on right now that I'm willing to share. Hey, if y'all enjoyed this video, as always, share it, like it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I would absolutely appreciate it. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram, Down Home Backyard Gardening. And as always, everyone, shine bright and harvest hard. Bye. Have you ever been walking through the supermarket? Okay, so here's a question. Jalapenos over last year, which was great. I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I planted a bunch of different types of tomatoes. Why do I keep saying tomatoes? A bunch of different types. Okay, so I'm going to use this bucket here. Now, I did make sure that this thing had, well, no, this. Okay, let's start this over. Grab the wrong bucket, as usual.